Welcome back to another video on Estimate and an edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, it's a big episode today. Of course, we're right off the back of King and Queen of the Ring. So yeah, we've got lots of the fallout from that, as well as much more. But we started things off with Ludwig Kaiser, who introduced the new King of the Ring, Gunther, to start the show. The ring general wasted little time turning his attention to one of his potential opponents at SummerSlam, the champ Damian Priest. He insulted the Archer of Infamy, suggesting he's a champion defined by shortcuts, which brought the champ to the ring. Drew soon followed, taking exception to being left out of the conversation despite challenging Priest for the title at Clash Castle. Back and forth ensued as Gunther graciously ducked out of the ring before Braun made his way out for a scheduled match against Dean McDonough. It was a strong opening segment as the booker Triple H leaks several moving pieces going, and yeah, he executed that well here with Gunther, McIntyre, Priest and even Strowman all going for the title. Which of them takes the crown remains to be seen, and then with CM Punk in there as well. Yeah, it's going to be an intriguing summer at the top of the Raw division. Before we got into that match between Braun Strowman and JD McDonough, despite Carlito's best attempts to further endear himself to Judgment Day, interfering on behalf of the heel, Braun powerslammed his way to victory over JD McDonough in the night's opening match. McDonough put up a better fight than expected, but Strowman overcame his knee-focused attack and interference from Carlito and Finn Balor to secure the victory. After the match, the Monster and Hangman demonstrated physical dominance, fending the heels off to close the segment. There is an argument to be made that this match was way too long, especially for a break. Strowman still looked unstoppable, and that bodes well for his chances of developing into a legitimate championship contender. Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviewed the new Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, who said her steel cage match with Becky Lynch tonight is her way to prove that she can defeat the man herself, and that Liv Morgan's revenge tour is only just beginning. So yeah, on the whole, I thought this was pretty decent, and gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, solid match from Strowman. He looks dominant, potentially head of a push, and Jack Carlito, that'd be an intriguing story going forward. Earlier in the night, Ilya Dragunov interrupted a conversation between Ricochet and Adam Pearce about Bron Breakker to thank the highlight of the night for stepping in on his behalf during the former NXT Champions Rampage a week ago. Ricochet, angry and looking for competition, demanded to run it back with a Mad Dragon, and Pearce made it official. Another classic encounter between the two, though, was unfortunately interrupted by Bron Breakker, who exploded into the ring following Ricochet's floating style press and folded the reigning Speed Champion up with a spear. He added another to Dragunov before Pearce confronted him. Breakker disrespectfully walked out, failing to acknowledge his superior until stopping and staring down at the top of the aisle. The reaction of Breakker is interesting, and a portion of the audience barks along with him and appears to appreciate the unstoppable badass, but the rest boo. How that reaction evolves and how Triple H's team responds will be interesting, but Breakker continues to look like a star though, and the end game more of this, and he'll be a major player in the division, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it progresses. Earlier in the afternoon, as New Day confronted Austin Truth about a potential tag title opportunity, carrying Cross interrupted, continuing his attempts to recruit AJ Woods, telling him to realise the fullest potential by stepping out of the Kofi Kingston shadow. I can't see it happening eventually, but yeah, it'd be crazy to see the New Day split. But anyway, as Woods resisted, and the match between the Authors playing was set for next week's show. But back in the arena, AOP battled the Creeds. Akam and Razor sent a message to Kingston and Woods loudly and clearly, withstanding the best they had to offer and scoring a big victory. Yeah, the story's interesting with merit, with Wood's background, kind of being overshadowed. Even as the host of Up and Down, King of the Ring winner, etc., he doesn't have the individual accolades. Cross tapping into that in an attempt to lure him could be interesting, and a feud with a New Day feels like Cross can win, which he badly needs for him and his faction to be taken seriously. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This is intriguing, a good match with lots of potential for the outside story. Returning to WWE TV for the first time since his opening round loss of Gunther and King of the Ring, Sheamus wasted little time addressing the insults of Ludwig Kaiser. The German-born competitor interrupted the backstage, and Celtic Warrior met him there, brawling with Kaiser until the officials overworked. Pearce separated them. This was short and sweet, so I'd light on what has the potential to be between the two of them for a fun kind of feud. Kaiser has a ton of potential, and yeah, Sheamus stepping up could be interesting. I think it really could help Kaiser prepare for a big breakout moment. So yeah, I think this has good potential going forward, and on the whole, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, let's say. Before we got women's division action, Lyra Valkyria taking on Kairi Sane, still reeling off her loss at Queen of the Ring and nursing an injury. Lyra was in this match, and the Pirate Princess focused her attack on the injured core of the babyface. She left herself open though, allowing the alert and aware Valkyria to score with a win with a crucifix roll-up. It was a good match for as short as it was, and once again portrayed Valkyria as a winner and future star. The creative team have done an incredibly effective job presenting the former NXT champion as a star of the women's division, someone who can carry the mantle forward going forward. There's an argument to be made that her success should not have been come at the defensive damage control, but as we saw during the backstage segment in which the frustrated Io Sky destroyed furniture etc. The losses are likely to lead to the next evolution of the faction. So yeah, I think that's good moving forward, and on the whole I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Before it's time for Rey Mysterio against Carlito, and following his betrayal on LWI and sneak attack, Carlito squared off with the leader. Mysterio overcame an otherwise dominant performance to try his second generation opponent, and the interference from the Judgment Day to Balor secured the win with his trademark 619 and springboard splash combination. Seeking revenge for the hell Carlito had put him and his friends through, Mysterio looked to continue his attack on both his former teammate and Balor. Instead, a frustrated Priest appeared, laid out both him and Lee, and stood tall. As if the Arch of Infamy was not ready to spread thin enough, he doesn't need to find himself embroiled in a feud with the LWA. Adds to this his sudden distrust from Balor and his overall frustration. Kind of seems to be tidying up for him, and yeah, that could be an interesting story going forward with all these different challenges. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Following another berating at the hands of Chad Gable, Otis sought to make up for an errant clothesline that cost his coach the IC title at the pay-per-view as he squared off with Big Bronson. Late in the match, Otis had Reed down and set up for the Caterpillar, but Gable cut him off, demanding he do not take the crowd-pleasing move. The distraction allowed the Australian to rock Otis with a kick and score the win with a tsunami. After the match, Gable called a meeting of the Alpha Academy. Before Gable could discipline Otis, he felt a form of backlashing. Dupree stopped into a big ovation. Gable banished her from the squared circle, then made demanded to Cesaro before Sammy interrupted. Zayn and Gable engaged in back and forth encounters before the IC champion asked Otis what he could do: listen to Gable or listen to the fans. The big man chose Gable's side, at least for one night, watching as Gable attacked Zayn and left him lying to close another great segment on what's become one of the best stories on the show. In the words of Pat Patterson, the crowd will go banana when Otis finally stands up. When Zayn, Gable and Otis are the focal points here, do not sleep on Dupree, because she has one of the best character arcs as well, and yeah, she has star potential as a lovable underdog, so looking forward to seeing how that goes too. It was then time for that steel cage for the Women's World Championship match, and yeah, after Dom inadvertently screwed her out of the championship, Liv Morgan won the steel cage match to kind of cement her dominance. The match was another competitive back and forth affair that saw each woman come within an inch to leaving the cage. Lately though, Mysterio arrived on the scene, seeming to encourage Vince to steer through the cage door and win. Balor and McDonough failed, attempting to talk Dom out of the decision, which prompted Strowman to rush the ring and chase McDonough out of the squared circle. As he did, he blasted Mysterio in the cage, slamming it on Lynch's head. Morgan escaped from there and retained her title. The finish was ridiculous, but it fits the showdown narrative of McDonough seeking his Strowman seeking his revenge on McDonough. And yeah, there's an interesting little storyline there with Morgan and Mysterio and how Rhea Ripley fits into it. I think it has good long-term potential, at least. And yeah, Lynch, the questions over her future as well when you keep going after this. So yeah, I thought this was a main event with lots of questions and a very fun match too, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, Raw gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, it was a really good episode of Raw this week. From start to finish, I thought, you know, the main event was really good and some interesting little feuds being set up. Of course, the next pay-per-view isn't very far away. Some intriguing angles, especially for Damian Priest at the top of the men's division. So yeah, I think there's lots to keep us interested on Raw at the moment. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.